Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Pet Girl of Sakurasou. The Bleach chapter came out, but I'm gonna leave that for later today. Figured I'd rather do it that way. Because there's only gonna be 2 videos, I figured. Bleach and One Piece, so we'll do that later tonight. This one was episode 16, Pet Girl Sakurasou. This one was called I've Always Loved You. Now, this episode can be broken down into more or less 2 parts. First part is about Sorata. I actually thought it was about Jin. Can't say that name correctly. I apologize. Jin. But it's not about him. We see him in the preview from last week, but that's not who it's about. About several people. But what happens in the beginning of the episode, we have the whole thing with who again? I'm trying to think. Forgot. With Sorata. He's getting ready. He did for his presentation. He says he doesn't want to feel like that ever again, like he did when he failed. And then, interesting thing happens. Misaki is in the kitchen, and she's just like, "Dude, she's making all these sound effects and drawing and everything." And what's happening is she's drawing her anime. Her drawings must really suck. I apologize, I'm sorry. I know a few people. And you know what's so funny? I didn't get a message from Pantone 12. You know? I didn't see him giving me a message. No. He did not give me a message. Man. Pantone. Slacking, dog. You're slacking. Come on, man. Where's your message on Pet Girl Sakurasou? But regardless. So she was drawing Misaki. And, you know, Nanami saw her drawing and everything, and she has a script that Jin gave her. And Nanami wanted to know if she could use it to practice her voice acting. And the thing about the voice acting thing for her is this. If she doesn't succeed, she has to go back home. Aha! You see where this is going, don't you? So, she really wants to succeed. So she's going to use this script to play out her voice acting and practice for February 14th. Now, remember this episode was the beginning part about Sorata. Now, during the episode, you know, this actually, I think, happened before. We have a scene with Jin. They go to school and everything. And before they go to school, Professor Chido-sensei, she tells Sorata, don't try hard. Okay? Even I was confused. I was like, don't try hard. What do you mean? But in other words, she meant not to try too hard. Because if you try too hard, you know, you planned, you failed to plan, she's saying not to try hard, too hard. And we have a scene where they go to school, and Jin is right there. And it's so funny. She's like, croak, croak, croak. She's trying to pretend to be a frog. And I'm like, come on. That's so stupid. And Jin is very obscure. He's trying to just not be with her at the moment. And from there we got you know, Sorata and Misaki walking in the hall, and she says, "I'm gonna do it on my own." She says, Misaki says, "I'm gonna do it on my own. I'll make my own anime and stuff." After that scene, because she felt depressed, kind of, and she's like, "Woo!" She's flying like an airplane. I'm like, this girl is a few sandwiches. Is a few too little sandwiches of a picnic. She needs a little bit more sandwiches for a picnic. She doesn't have them. God. So anyway, that leaves us to going into this presentation for Sorata. Now, I personally thought he wasn't gonna get it. So on the train, he's waiting, and he's gonna, you know, she's pumped up. He's ready for this presentation, and you know, Nami sends him this saying, this text saying, "Oh," which is kind of funny because later on something happens, which was funny also. And the text says, you know, I know you don't want to hear it, but work hard, try hard, work hard. And he's like pumped, he's like ready for it now because of what she said to him. So he goes in that presentation and he's nailing, he hits his head on the microphone, and they kind of laugh, and he does the presentation and he remembers what the sensei said. Just don't try too hard. And he nails it to a certain extent, but while he's talking about it, one of the directors is talking with that big-time gaming developer and saying, how much will this cost us and how much will we get out of it? And the value of it, of how much it would come out, was really high. And I was like, oh man, they're going to turn him down. At first, they turn him down. And I'm like, it's bullshit. But they decide to pass him. And the idea is that Sorata is going to be working with their production team to fix out the bugs in this game and to make it the best it can be. And he's like, he's like freaking out, and he's like, oh my god. He feels so happy and everything, and he shakes the guy's hand and he leaves. And he tells everyone, and he's like, I did it! Yeah, I did it! I'm like, okay. And they have a big celebration for him. And Misaki's doing her own thing, saying about, oh, it was a pot. The food was like, it's not a beef pot. We'll say that for another time. And the funny part came from Mashiro, though. And he tells everyone that, oh yeah, NAMAMI, she gave me a text and she said to work hard. That really encouraged me. So Mashiro gets up. This was fucking Mashiro all the way. Gets up, goes in her room, and he gets a message. And it says, from Mashiro, work hard. I was laughing. And then she comes back and she sits down. And he's like, what was that? It was, oh, work hard. I'm like, just do it. She's so goddamn funny, Mashiro. She makes this show perfect. This show would be nothing without Mashiro. Nothing. It would be a piece of crap without Mashiro. So anyway, his audition was a success and everything. And more or less the rest of the episode is pretty much him, Sorata, auditioning and helping NAMAMI, which induces, oh, they're getting really close. And even her friends at school saying, yeah, go confess to him, go confess to him. This is your chance. Confess to him already. And she's hesitant to. And while this is all going on, Mashiro is having these emotions as well, and her editor decides to tell her, oh, maybe you should write in your manga. These anxieties she's having, which is jealousy. I mean, it's obvious. And his sister shows up, Yuko, you know, Sorata's sister, and she just puts more fuel on the fire because she's there and she's like, oh, seeing him with Nanami, getting cutesy, lovey-dovey with Nanami, and also getting cutesy too with Mashiro, and she's like, go freaking out and everything and stuff. And then came the ending part of the episode where she gives, Yuko gives Sorata chocolates because it's almost close to Valentine's Day. And she whispers in his ear, which one are you going to choose, Nanami or Mashiro? And then she says that Dad told me to say that to you because you're so inconsistent. You're very wishy-washy. And then she leaves, and then they're going ahead on Sorata saying, what did she say to you? You know, and everything, you know, Mashiro, and they're like, nothing, it was nothing. Oh, it was so fun. This episode was great. Definitely 4 out of 5. I want to give it more, but I need to see more. I like this episode. It was bringing things together to a certain extent of Nanami and Sorata and Mashiro and Sorata, bringing it together. Now that he's accomplished something, Sorata, this is like huge. It took him forever to really put his foot in the door, so to speak, for this gaming thing. And now that he has, he can move forward. And he also said about the whole... I forgot to mention the thing with the game designer, famous game designer. He mentioned who drew, or kind of drew, who drew that picture for the game. So, that was another thing to bring up. But overall, it was a good episode, like I said. 4 out of 5. Next week's kind of weird. It's Valentine's Day, obviously. I think next week's is going to be... not 100% sure about next week's. I think next week's is going to be along the lines that... I'm trying to think. It's going to be Valentine's Day, obviously. I saw Rita in the preview, which was very peculiar. I'm guessing she's going to make an appearance. So, that's something to look forward to as well. But then, like I said, this was a 4 out of 5. Pretty good episode, I mean. And the whole time, it was like Nanami trying to say she loves him and shit. And I'm like, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. This is so ridiculous. Because she's like trying to express her feelings to Sorata. But it's a script. It's not really, you know. But the entire time, she just gave blushing and everything. And the thing is, and it's kind of one of those things where you say, if she doesn't do well on the audition, she has to leave. Not me. See, that's the kicker here. If she succeeds, she could stay. But if she doesn't, she has to leave. I was said during Christmas Eve, she said that if she doesn't do well on the audition for the voice acting, her parents want her to come home. They'll have to go to a different school. Bummer. But we'll see how this turns out. I mean, hey, if I was Sorata, I don't know. If I was Sorata, I'd probably say I don't know. On one hand, you got Mashiro, who is like the definition of moe. Adorable, cute girl that you just, you know. And then on the other hand, you got Nanami. Question of the day for this video in comments below. I want to hear you guys' opinions on this. Who would you go out with, Nanami or Mashiro? This has been Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. Put in that in the comment below. I want to hear what you guys think. Who would you go out with, Nanami or Mashiro? See ya.